Tomorrow People, episode 5, titled All Tomorrow's Party. This review I'm actually redoing because the original file I did, for some reason, only uploaded as 2 seconds because the file was just screwed up. So I'm trying to redo this while remembering, that episode, which fortunately isn't too hard because this was an episode I really enjoyed for this season because it really showed a lot. You know, there were a lot of cool moments in it. Steven had to watch as the Tomorrow People were basically ambushed at this party, and it was a really emotional part of the scene, and the whole episode was fairly emotional because everyone's dealing with basically being stuck underground, and Steven's kind of the in between guy where he can go off to Ultra because he's undercover and enjoy his normal human life and stay with his family and things like that, while everyone else is just stuck in a subway. um, I can't think of the character's name, but the guy he basically rescues in episode 2, he's having trouble, going to see his family, and when he comes back, he's basically caught, and everyone knows he left. And John tells him, like, you have to basically abandon your human life because you're not human anymore. And even though it's tough, you don't really have a choice because you'll either get killed, or you'll get caught or found out, and you can't come back here because we'll all be killed then. So it was a really cool episode to see. Steven has to kind of deal with the fact that he's sort of the in between person, and people are kind of jealous of him and kind of hate him because he gets to leave and go back and forth, and then John kind of has to be the one to step in and say, no one else can do that, while Steven comes in and he kind of, he does it left and right, but he's also pushing everyone else to feel the same way because he makes it seem so simple and stuff when it's really not. But it was a great episode. I love, the ending of it was really good because, like I said, Steven has to deal with seeing all of these people be attacked and stuff like that. Everyone's enjoying themselves, and then they find out, they've been trapped, they've been tricked into going to this party, and some people die. Steven, he breaks protocol to save the girl, who's introduced in this episode. So of course I don't remember her name, but she's like the nerdy girl of the group, sort of. But he rescues her. He takes her to the hospital, which was obviously nice of him. But they find out they were tricked because the guy that was going to his mom and stuff, he was found out the second time he went to his mom, and they said, they told him, we only want to take out John, pretty much. And obviously Ultra lied, and they were just trying to wipe out everybody. And in this episode, what Kara does is take his abilities, which was a really intense scene. They had the main characters. They had Steven, John, Kara, and Russell. And so they're all kind of just staring this guy down like, we're family, or we were family, and you betrayed us because, you went to see your mom and you didn't trust, the rules we have in place because you wanted to do what you wanted to do. And Carr took his powers and threatened him and said, if you breathe a word of this to anyone, like, tell them where we are and stuff. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was something like she would basically build up the bad emotions in his brain, to the point where it would basically make his brain melt, pretty much, and he would basically just be a zombie. So it was a great scene from her, and it was kind of unexpected because everyone was kind of angry, and whenever someone would jump forward, everyone else would pull them back, and then she kind of just lost it and, like, pushed them against the wall, and they never stopped her, and she took his powers, and it was an amazing scene. It was really crazy. But even before that, and this might kind of have triggered why she was so mad, but excuse me, I'm sick. But before that scene, she found out that John is actually able to kill people because Ultra had this project, the Annex project, and they basically upgraded his abilities, and so he doesn't have that limitation of murder, and he used that to save Kara and the new girl. And when Kara found that out, obviously a huge surprise because it's the secret that he's been hiding for so long, and she finally figured it out, and that could have led to why she was so angry with him, or with the new kid, because she was also mad about finding out what John could do, and the fact that that's what he hid from her for so long. But also, even without that, the new kid did basically he got people killed. I believe they lost four people, and they almost lost five because they, may or may not have lost the new girl. But, he set them up to die, and, she was mad, and everyone was, for a very good reason. But it was a great episode, and, this episode was where Astrid really started to, figure out Steven was hiding more than just powers, and she follows him. But fortunately, nothing bad really happened to her. Just Steven's partner figured out she was, Astrid was kind of looking into things and following him around. But overall, I really enjoyed that episode because it was a good emotional episode. Especially the ending of it, where just every scene was something very impactful, where everyone was being killed off, or you know Kara finding out about John, and then the very end where Kara, takes the guy's powers. It was a very well done episode, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorites this season, aside from all of the flashback episodes, because those are definitely my three favorite episodes, so far. But this was, outside of the flashback episodes, this was definitely one of my favorites because I felt like it had a great emotional impact that a lot of the other episodes, outside of the flashback ones, didn't really have, because all of the emotional stuff for those flashback episodes was generally in the flashback, as where this one had a great emotional impact in current time. So I really love this episode. And obviously, if you guys remember anything about it, or for some reason you're checking this out way later anyway, comment below, let me know what you guys thought of the episode, favorite parts, least favorite parts. Not much I can really ask since I'm doing this review sort of late. It's been like 2 weeks. I think episode 7 came out yesterday. But if you remember this episode, what did you guys think about it? Was it a good episode to you? Do you think it really led to some great episodes later on in the future? Because based on the 2 episodes that came after this one, it did lead to some pretty great stuff. We had the Russell flashback, was episode 6 right after this one, and then the episode that came on yesterday, and I won't spoil it if for some reason and somehow you haven't seen those episodes but you're watching this, I won't spoil them. But it did lead to some pretty great stuff. But comment below, let me know what you thought of this episode, and what do you think of the show just in general. So comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.